I do also remember, just to clarify something, in 2010 when we voted to drop the city hall portion, that was on the library board's recommendation, because it would be easier for you to raise the money. Because you had people saying that they didn't want the city tied to it.
I would like to see those minutes from that, because I was chair at the time.
That's my recollection.
Right. What I recall was my asking that if you could not fully support it, the project, would you consider stepping aside so that we could continue on raising money? Not asking you to leave, only asking you if you could not support it to not stand in our way. That's my recollection. The request was actually, would you support it? But if not, please don't stop us.
Anything else? Do you have any questions?
Well, there's an additional piece that I think maybe would relate to what you were going to report in terms of talking to the architect, etc.
Would you like a report on that? I would. I started here in April of last year. And since that time, I have met with both groups and tried to find a way to preserve the resources for as long as possible. So either someone hits the lottery or we put together a plan that we just can't say no to. We, at one point, went back to the library board and asked to scale the project down just a tad, because I found a way to take $20,000 that the city had been earmarked for the Tenborg Center, the money that we were hoping to get from FEMA, and we raised funds that we thought the library group could get from the public and pledges. We could raise enough where we could cash flow the bond, or the loan. And what that required was taking the building down to about 7,500 square feet. It's like $1.7 million project.
Yeah, and we did that.
Yep, and the library board agreed to do that. Went back to USDA and had a conversation with them about, if we take 1.7, do we still get the $250,000? They said yes. I didn't want to push that and say, you know, what's the bottom line here? So we were proceeding along, waiting to hear from FEMA. The city's waiting on a lot of money from FEMA, unfortunately.
I think everybody is.
In the meantime, this final piece of the puzzle, land-wise, came due. And it converged at a time that USDA, who'd been very patient, waiting, asked us, what are we going to do? We're going to use the money, or we're going to give it back? And so the mayor and I had a meeting in early December. The USDA folks were down here anyway, talking to the school. We just wanted to have a meeting just to see what our options were, knowing that one of them certainly was to take all of the money, or a portion thereof, for a new building. They offered that the money, since it had been earmarked for a city hall and a library, that it could be used to fix existing buildings. That was something that we hadn't been aware of.
We were not made aware of that.
That it was even an option. So that put new cards on the table. The council had then decided that they weren't going to proceed on the Litcher property, which I had presented to the council as an opportunity for us to at least have a vacant lot for parking. That, you know, no matter what, whether the library went forward or another building went there, I felt that we should proceed forward. Council felt otherwise. They voted not to do that. So we returned.
I voted for it.
We returned the balance of the deed money. I was then instructed by the council to find an architect to do a space study for this building and for the Muni that the city owns. And I have accomplished that. I found someone that I think can do the job. So, where we stand right now is the money from USDA is still there. It's still available to Rushford to either build a new library or to retrofit 2 buildings, one for City Hall and one for library. And I should add, it's not just to build a new library. The balance of the money could be used to fix this building up for City Hall. I think USDA has been very gracious about extending timelines and about being flexible with the terms of the original note. I have yet to get a sense that the council wants to proceed with the new library, and I've yet to get a feeling that the library board is willing to look at other options, because I think they feel that they've looked at them already. So I feel very much in the middle of this, which is fine. That's why I get paid the big bucks. As I've tried to say all along, my job is to preserve options and resources. And had we lost the USDA loan back in December, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd be having a different one. So we do have the funds for a myriad of options. Life's about having choices and options, and we haven't shut any doors yet.
I'm just curious from the feedback that I received, why the library board was not part of the conversation with the USDA meeting, since it does impact the library building, and 134.11 specifically talks about the role of the library board. I mean, ultimately, it's a joint activity, but there's still players at the table, and by not being at that meeting, I think there is a feeling of disenfranchisement. So, that's a bridge that we need to work on building.
I'm sorry. They asked to meet, we met with them. I'm sorry. Nothing was underhanded.
It's not an apology to me.
I'm apologizing to this entire community. They asked, the mayor and I said, sure, we'll meet with you. We had no idea where things were going to go.
And it was not underhanded. I don't believe it is. They wanted to talk to us, we talked. At the time, I was on the library board, so maybe I shouldn't be anymore. But
If I may, just since we're all here and it's a public meeting, I think then as we move forward, that anything that comes up that might impact the library, Mr. Bunky's shaking his head no, but if it's something that impacts the library, that could have an impact, is that something that, whether it's an email or a phone call or something to the library board, whether it's half an hour. I mean, I'm on the school board. I get a call, somebody's coming down, you're a school board member, can you be here in half an hour? Well, maybe I can't, but at least I'm aware of it, I know it, I have that option now. It's not kept secret from me. And I think that, I guess when you, as council members, start making plans, well, here's what we're going to go do with the library, can we at least be brought into that conversation? Is that a fair, is that what this
Well,
is asking?
well, there's making plans and then there's exploring options.